So, everybody say hi to Mr. Skeletor here. He's my little home slice that hangs out in the front. He greets everybody that tries to come into our house. You know, with COVID and everything, we gotta have extra security here. Hey guys, good morning and happy Halloween. I just wanted to come on here real quick and do a garden video for you guys, a garden tour. And I just wanted to show you what kind of damage had happened a couple of days ago, which was Tuesday in El Paso. We had a snowstorm. And when I say snowstorm, it was like barely snow covering everything, but nonetheless, it was still snow. Super exciting. We were able to build a snowman, a small one, but we were still able to do it. And anyways, now I'm just jabbering. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like in my front yard. The frost damage that was done there. I'm going to show you what my backyard looks like. I'm going to also show you what everything looks like with the frost blankets on them. Exactly how they stayed. So that way you guys could see how well they worked. I had 3 different types put on there. I had burlap on some plants. I had moving blankets on others, as well as the actual frost blankets that you would buy at Lowe's. And I put those on there as well. So we'll see which one did the best. And then after I show you guys all of that, I will go ahead and show you exactly what my plants look like after the frost. Okay, so stay tuned. All right, so you guys could see here is my front yard. And everything here looks perfect. Let me zoom out. You see that? Like nothing affected it. You know why? Because these are native plants to El Paso, and I never ever have an issue with them dying or being damaged by snow. They always look pretty good. You could tell, I call these my little Mario balls. So these Mario balls are hardly damaged. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's probably the most damage this entire plant has. And then we go over here, and this is my front yard. Oh my gosh, look at my neighbor's fig tree. Isn't that super pretty? Anyways, back to my yard, So as you could tell, the grass, a little yellowing, but not bad. It still hasn't hit full dormancy. But my sweet potatoes, as you could tell here, these bad boys are donezo. But there are some green back here. I guess the only positive in my eyes is that it goes well with my pumpkin patch theme, you know. It looks a little creepy, right? Of course, because of the snow and the wind, all my decorations fell on the ground. So I'll get to those in a little bit. I'm thinking that after this year, starting in spring, I'm going to go ahead and take out all the sweet potatoes and plant something else that'll stay longer throughout the year. Okay, these are my white lantanas. Not too much damage to them. Let's see here. You guys remember my oleanders on the side? This one was hit with termite. Well, actually, all of these were hit with termites. But this one's really struggling to grow back. This one is growing back beautifully. This one as well. This one, unfortunately, I mean, it's trying to. So I'm still going to leave those be and see what they could bring us in the spring. Okay, so over here, you guys will see my backyard from, this is the right side of my house. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. Is my dog run. Excuse the little bombs in the the dog run. I do have 3 dogs, but ignore those little turds and just look at the trees. Look how pretty they are. The one that I have here is my California pepper tree, and what's protecting that is the moving blankets I got at Harbor Freight, thanks to I believe it was Oda Jennings. On her page, she was saying that she was looking for some blankets, and I told her U-Haul, and then she says she found some at Harbor Freight. So we also went there to get some. And I think personally, just by looking at it, it did really well. Because I mean, look at how my pepper tree looks. It looks just fine. Then the next one in the middle is called the shoestring acacia. And then the one in the very, very back is my moringa. As you can tell, moringa does not like cold weather whatsoever. And so it definitely looks like it got hit pretty bad. However, if the trunk is fine, then I have no issues with it looking like that, because it'll come back in the spring, just like it did last year. And last year, I didn't even put that much protection to it. I just put heavy mulch, and it still came back. So I'm hoping that now that I protected the trunk, it'll come back even bigger. Oh, and then who do we have here? Oh, who do we have here? And here are the babies. Annoying, right? Just kidding. Look how cute they are. I just want everyone to see this. My daughter made this last year, and it is just so darn cute. She did such a good job, right? Back here, this is my sunroom, and it's also my workout room, so forgive the mess. When it was windy, I just brought everything in that I think needed extra protection, which are my geraniums, my aloe, my succulent, my hearts and flowers. I'm not sure what this one is called, but I got that from Mickey, who is from our group. Thank you, thank you. This is what was the surviving plant from her little gift. This right here I got from Mary Grace, and it's super cute. Can't remember the name of that one either, but it's beautiful. I think she said it was like, I don't want to even say it because I think it's totally wrong. Anyway, so let's move on. And then my daughter's artwork, bow and arrow. Which, by the way, if you guys are trying to do something with your kids, try like archery. My daughter loves it. We bought this at Academy and got her a bow and arrows. And yeah, we just put it in the backyard, and she just shoots at it, and she really enjoys it. But back to the plants here. We have basil, a gift from Julio, and oh, it smells so good. And look how beautiful that looks. Okay guys, so I'm back in the backyard, and as you could tell here, some damage done to my canna. The wind really ripped it apart. But for the most part, I think it's going to be fine. My kumquat. Can you guys see it? I don't think any issues there. This, of course, is the frost blanket I use. Now, let me tell you the problem with this frost blanket. It's not that heavy. So I would highly recommend either getting, if you do use this, to either have plenty of rocks to hold it down or stakes to hold it down, because I was having a hard time finding something heavy enough to keep it down, especially with the winds that we were having. It's very difficult. So I had to come out here like 3 times just to hold it down. Oh, my elephant ears. Bye-bye, elephant ears. some of the tree damage, don't be shocked by that, because the trees have been nibbled on by deer in the neighborhood. And so some of them were already looking rough before the storm. And then the snow day just kind of finished off some of them. Okay. Oh no, look at my tree. Sorry guys for the horrible camera work, okay? And I just lost my shoe. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So as you could tell here, my elephant ears was damaged, but it's still green. So me covering it, I think, helped that. Man, check out this. You see how pretty that is? This is my mom's, and it's like it never was affected by this snow day. It actually enjoyed it, it seems, right? This one got hit hard because this one was full of flowers. This one got pretty flowers on this side and little on that side. Okay, let's see what we got, huh? I'm gonna zoom back out. Okay, so we have here my lace bark, and it's actually doing pretty good. I'm actually happy with this because again, the deer ate all of this. And it's funny because you could look at all my plants and you could tell how tall he was because of where he stopped eating. So it looks good up there, and this part's growing back, so I'm happy with that. You guys, remember my Charlie Brown tree? Look at it. It's actually looking better than my other plum tree over there. So I'm happy with that. Aww. Look at all the new growth. And look at the little flowers. It's like reblooming. Isn't that crazy? So my lantanas here got hit. But the lantanas back there look great. And as you could tell, they look good back there because they're protected by the wall. They're protected by other plants surrounding it, as well as that big boulder. So when it came to snow and of course I mulch. I have heavy mulch in my raised bed. Or my border. And so that had enough protection to just keep on flourishing. But this right here, as you could tell, there's nothing to protect the plants in the front. So it's pretty much just like if you died, you died, you'd survive, you survive kind of mode in the front right here. And unfortunately, these lantanas, they're going to grow back because the leaves are still green, but it did get hit. My ice plants, they don't look too happy. Some of them were not too happy. My huge lantana, the orange ones, they look pretty good. But again, I won't trim my lantanas back until the spring because I let their branches work. Their branches and their leaves work as a frost blanket for themselves. So that will keep their roots protected along with the mulch, so I'll have no issues with those. I just let them be and they grow back just fine after you give them a heavy trimming in the spring. Okay, this is my red delicious. Still good. Again, it looks so thin because the deer had a little feast, had brunch in my yard, you know, so no biggie, no biggie. It's still good. Then I have my, you guys know I can't pronounce most of the things that I say, so this is my persimmons. And these branches were already kind of like that. But this right here, you guys see it? Oh, sorry, can't zoom in. Can I zoom in? Oh, okay. Do you guys see that? Bam. Look at that beauty. It's growing, so I'm happy. Here is my other apple tree. And I think it's doing good. The things that you see connected to it are the bar soap to stop the deer from eating my tree. But look at that. It's growing back great. But I realized that I need to have bigger bags with more soap and keep it around there to prevent them from eating it. Because when he came back the second time, all he did was just eat around it. So the scent didn't really bother him that much. Either he was really smart or I didn't do enough, which I feel like it was me, not him. And so let me see what else. Look at that. I got new growth here. My little volunteer trees here. Right here is my orange tree. And then back there is my mint and my bougainvillea. This is my fig. Wisteria. Firebells or Tacoma. Look at my mesquite. How pretty is that? Took everything just fine. No issues. Looks beautiful. My wildflowers in this corner. And again, because of this wall, I feel like this wasn't damaged too much because this is also my moringa. And yeah, the leaves don't look that great, but look at the trunk. It's looking good. It would actually be fatter. The trunk would be wider and fatter if I had broken up all the protective plastic that's underneath my garden bed. Right here. But what I have done lately is every time I plant something, my holes are so big and I puncture the plastic anyways. When it comes to these moringa trees, I would just throw the seeds out and see what happens. And so I think if it had loose soil, it would be able to grow even faster and even bigger. But because it has that plastic kind of stopping it, it's taking it a longer time for it to actually penetrate the plastic, breaking it, and then growing bigger. But look at this. I have a little one growing here. This stick right here is another moringa. It's coming from this moringa. So I want to say this doesn't look bad at all. So I'm going to stop you here. Oh, I forgot this whole side. My bad. So over here, lantana, elephant ear, which this one still made it. Look at that one. Way to go, little ear. Using all the other leaves to protect that one. Oh no. Look. Okay, so my roses, not bad. It actually grew quite a bit because You see the growth? So it didn't damage that at all. But down here, you can see these were my, you guys know I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I can't say it because there's a lot of extra letters in there. But anyways, you guys know what it is. I always write it down. It starts with an N. Can you guys guess what I'm trying to talk about or say? Nasturtiums? Nasturtiums? I think it's nasturtiums. Anyways. But in this corner, I had a rose bush, ice plants, and the nasturtiums planted here. But I think they're going to bounce back. But you can tell that they definitely took a hit. And, oh, this used to be my pretty little rose bush, but I had a gardener come out and I didn't have these little bricks to protect it. So when he first came out here to help us with our grass, he just mowed everything over. Even though it was big enough, I'm talking about it was like that big, but nonetheless, he still mowed it down, and it's been struggling to grow ever since. But anywho, that's what my yard looks like so far. I'll come back on here to show you guys what it looks like without all the protection. Okay guys, so I'm back, and I just wanted to get on here and show you what my garden looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and water because some of the things look a little thirsty, so I'm gonna give these little planties some much needed drink and some hydration here. But before I do that, I just want you to see what it looks like. And a lot of you have been saying, oh, we're gonna have another freeze, so should I just keep the blankets on? I would say no. Let them have some air, sunlight, and a drink of water, because they need that to grow. And when it does dip below a certain temperature, that's when you should cover it up again. Obviously, with our Tuesday snow, we knew it was going to be a potential below 32. That's why we were all crazy and running around trying to cover stuff up. But like some of the other group members have said before, you don't need to cover up everything. There's certain plants that have different temperature requirements. Okay, so like these mums, if you notice, a lot of the stores, they all bring them out during the fall because they know they do well here with our temperatures and our mild winters, that they'll just grow great. Okay, so usually you don't need to cover those up. Now, if you have plants that you know need above 100-degree temperatures and they don't do well under 40 degrees, for instance, then those are the ones that you just need to take care of. The ones that you know that could take the cold, leave it be. If they're like barely, you just put them in the ground a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and you know the roots are not established, and you're concerned, go ahead and cover them up. It's not gonna hurt them too much. Just make sure you protect them well. Like for instance, this avocado right here. It says here, do you guys see that? And it says hardiness, 20 degrees. So technically, when it's established, unless it goes to 20 degrees, I don't need to cover it. I still want to protect it, but I don't need to go frantic and cover everything like I did this time, because I only planted it less than, maybe a month ago. And so I wanted to make sure that my investment was secure. And it actually looks pretty good to me. Like, these are new this year. This one and this one I just planted like a week before the frost, or 2 weeks before the frost. And then it got hit by the deer. So it went little plant, he went through some things, but it's still growing, so it's healthy, it's fine. But again, a lot of times when they're a new plant and I'm just not sure because I have a horrible memory, I go ahead and keep the tags on them until I'm more comfortable. But this one, for instance, look, it says hardiness 0 degrees. So I go ahead and protect it just because I planted it like 2 weeks ago. But once it's established, I don't need to worry about it pretty much, except for in the summer. This is my other apple. I've had it for almost 3 years now, and no issues with this sucker except for the deer. My canna lily hit it pretty hard. Excuse the volume. My husband's talking on the phone. But here we go. My little mandarin tree looks pretty good. I covered the entire thing. And I don't know if you noticed, but I covered this one entirely. And the kumquat, I only covered the bottom half of the trunk as well as, bottom half of the trunk. And that one actually looks healthier than this one. And so I would say that for citrus, you wouldn't have to cover it completely like I did with this one. You just need to make sure that the roots and the trunk is protected, heavily mulched. So that should help. My mint. There we go. My boogie. Boogie woogie woogie. More mint. Funny thing, this sucker was dying, and because of the freeze, it's actually blooming. So again, mums love this weather. My fig. My crazy dog. Yeah, he probably... Oh, there he is. He stopped. But he usually does that for like a solid 10 minutes. Then rolls in the grass. Then gets an allergy attack. And then he does it again. Everything else is looking good. Again, I think this wall is a big reason why the plants on this side of the house or the yard did better than the other side, just because it's the highest wall that I have, so it's protecting it from the winds. Because I mean, look at the difference. Look at those ice plants, and then look at those. This was not covered at all. And so, and again, my favorite perfect tree right here. And then everything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the garden tour. Everything looked, for the most part, I think pretty good. No issues. I didn't actually have anything completely die off. So that's good news for me. But I'm just watching my other dog eat grass. Anyways, but I hope you liked it, and please leave a comment down below if you have any questions for me that I didn't answer in the video, because I know it was just like a quick scan through of my plants. But majority of the things that I had planted, they are lovers of heat. They are lovers of sun. So they definitely needed to have the frost covers taken off of them. And I would have to say, like here in El Paso, from the last 10 years that I've been here, we haven't really had a bad winter. We only had maybe a few times, and that was only in a few years, that it was like really crazy. Which the one that I could really think of was like, what was it, 2011, 2012? And so, I mean, here we are in 2020, and then we have our first snow. It was in October, but other than that, I think it's going to be not too bad. The next weather hit that we should be concerned about is somewhere between, I believe, November 12th through the 14th. It was right after Veterans Day. And so just look at the weather forecast for your area, see what kind of plants you have, see what the minimum temperature it needs to survive, and then work around that. I would say that, again, if you know that that plant needs lots of sunlight and everything like that, go ahead, take your stuff off, let them have the sun, let them warm up. They need the blankets off so they could have air circulation. But unless that plant that plant requires a certain temperature, like it needs to be above 50 degrees. You know what I mean? 50 degrees, and we're about to get a drop to 30 degrees. Go ahead and cover it up. That's all we gotta do. Give it some love, give it some warmth, give it some food, water. Hug them, kiss them. Do you. And yeah, go from there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween, and I can't wait to see all your guys' plant pictures and videos and costumes. I don't mind seeing those today. So feel free to just post it all over the place. All right? You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later.